Welcome back to Screen and Ink, Season 3, Episode 7, instant reaction and breakdown of this episode. David, another episode, another very intriguing episode,
Yeah,
but also
we have our issues.
we have our issues with it
Yeah,
that we will dive into,
Yeah.
but we still enjoyed this episode.
Yes, it's an amazing episode objectively.
Yes.
You know, especially if we're just talking about the show, it's extremely
Mm-hmm.
enjoyable.
Yeah.
I mean, it has our favorite shot from the season
Yep.
in this episode. Fantastic character development. I really feel like they're trying to dive into each character, which I can appreciate. I feel like it's setting, it's
Setting the stage.
It's setting the stage while
Yeah.
also keeping us engaged every single scene.
Right, yeah.
What did you think about it as a whole?
I thought it was good. It feels like this is the fourth episode in the row it's the same episode.
Mm.
Like, we did get this huge dragon battle.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Amazing.
We called it a Valyrian standoff.
A Valyrian standoff.
Yep.
Like, that was awesome. Little dragon standoff that we had going on. And then we have Sunfire coming back and
Oh my
answering the
gosh.
call to Aegon, just like it happens in the book.
One of the greatest scenes of any Game of Thrones show.
Yeah,
in my
dude.
opinion. That was one of the best 2-minute segments that we've ever gotten in Game of Thrones, and of this season and this show as a whole, 100%.
And I say just like the books, not just like the books, but being the same in as Sunfire answered the call and showed up for
yes,
Aegon. Now in the books, it's a lot different. Aegon is on Dragonstone
yeah,
when this happens, and Sunfire answers him, and no one knows why. Really, it's just like it's that bond, that magical bond that just kind of comes out of no one
Mhm.
understands really, and Sunfire answers it, and then Sunfire kills Grey Ghost in the books.
yeah,
and that's how they wind up there.
yes,
But now this is completely different, and they're outside of Maidenpool, which is a very important topic in the book,
yeah,
because especially with what Jane Eyre said in this episode, when she mentions with Nettles.
yes, yeah. She said that that Rhaena had been living among weeds and nettles.
And I think that is a little nod to the book readers
Yeah.
that, like, yeah, we didn't do the Nettles plot line,
But this is who we're replacing her
but
with, or
we're
merging
also
her with.
like acknowledging you
Yes.
and Nettles.
Yeah, and which is
Um,
what we've been saying, that
Mhm.
this character is, she's Rhaena, but she is
She has Nettles storyline.
yes, she
for
has
sure.
Nettle's storyline for sure.
But Nettles and Maidenpool being the place where Damon and Nettles go together, and they stay in Maidenpool, and then that's when Rhaenyra gets wind, and she gives the order to tell Lord Tumbleton to tell Damon to kill her,
Yeah,
and then that's where they disperse, and then we won't get into it anymore, but we will in the spoiler section. But
yeah,
but that is very important. So for this major thing to happen outside of Maidenpool, or close to Maidenpool,
huge change.
is a huge change, but
Yeah.
pretty cool.
It was so dope. Objectively, the episode was sick.
Yes.
Do you wanna start from the top,
Let's start from the top.
Okay, so we open and it is a dream sequence. We
Yeah.
immediately realize that this is a dream sequence because Helena is walking outside. Of course, she's
Right.
been confined
Mhm.
to her tower cell, essentially.
Right.
And she is, she walks past this horse,
Mm-hmm.
right? And there's,
pale
it's a white horse.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Kind of like how Arya had a pale horse.
Right. Very
in
true.
Season 8.
And then you see these gates open. And, it's night out, when she's
Mhm.
walking. But it almost, illuminates her when the
Right.
gates open. So it really makes you think, what is this symbolizing? Because it's absolutely symbolizing something, because we know Helena is a dreamer. This was confirmed to us already. We already knew, but it was officially confirmed to us
Last
by
episode.
Helena herself.
Yeah.
So
What does that represent? What does that light represent?
mhm.
Does it represent like actual light? Does it represent dragon fire? Like
Does it-
what does it?
maybe, she feels super trapped, where she is now. Maybe it represents her, like,
Trying to
you
get
know,
free.
yeah, you being free, like escaping from her situation in some form or fashion.
Right. I mean, I don't know.
When she wakes up, of course,
It's Rhaenyra.
yes, it's
Waking her
Rhaenyra waking her up, and
It is very, and so like Rhaenyra comes off as very calm, and she's using this sister love and being sisterly to her, even though she's never been that way. They've never really talked to each other, and she's like, sister, like she's trying to cuddle up to her, and then she realizes that she can't get anything out of her, and then she starts being
yeah, she starts laying on the heat.
yeah. And I thought that was really interesting because the last episode we saw Alicent grab Rhaenyra's arm
Yes.
and cling to her for like hope, and like an answer, and like, why would you do this? Don't do this, please. And then now we come to this episode, and Rhaenyra grabs Helena's arm, and she's like clinging to like
Yeah.
basically hope
Yeah.
and answers
yeah,
from Helena.
and not only does she want to know, she asks all these different questions about where different people are, where Corlys is, where the Rivermen are, where
She thinks that
Aemon
that
is.
she has the three-eyed raven just sitting here with her.
Literally.
She thinks she has Bran just
Literally.
sitting right here.
And not only that, like, not only does she ask those questions, she's like, tell me that I am victorious.
That was very
the,
weird.
Yeah, that the gods, have chosen me. Tell me. And she's like looking at her so pleadingly. It's
Tell me I'm
it's-
worthy, and it
yeah.
kind of correlates to what she with Massaria, what
Yeah.
she does to her at,
at
the
the end
end.
of the episode. And I think it's honestly, it's kind of sad and frankly disturbing.
Yeah.
The scene. And Helena looks like
What the
kind of
hell?
grossed out by it, you
Yeah.
know? She's like, "What are you?" You
Yeah.
know? And I think it was a big callback to not Aemon, Aegon, asking both Tyland and Larys, do you think I'm a good man? Am I
Yeah.
worthy? Seeking this like validation
Yeah.
from them.
All these Targaryens are looking for.
Yeah, which of course this happens much later, but the scene that we see outside of Maidenpool when Sunfire shows up, we see Aegon like come back into himself,
Yeah.
like, and we know that like these Targaryens, they're not a whole lot without their dragons.
They are,
They're just normal people
They're
without
people.
their dragons, but when they have their dragons, they are not only do they just have a dragon, it's like they're like them. They're their true selves. They're their full selves.
Yeah.
Even somebody as pathetic and crippled as Aegon can be this.
Powerful figure.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Who not only like instills fear in his opponents, but like bravery.
Right.
And like you see Tyland, he won. We'll get into this more, but Tyland, shout out Tyland.
Oh my God.
He held that sword up. He was ready to fight and die for his king right there.
Lord Lannister in the muck, in the mud, with a crippled king.
Exactly. He is the Lord of Casterly Rock, man. He's one of the richest lords in the Seven Kingdoms, one of the most powerful people,
Yep.
and he's ready to die there in obscurity
I
with his
loved it.
king.
I loved it.
love it. Of course, we have our bones to pick with the Lannisters, but you can never call them wimps.
No, you can't.
They are about their business.
Yeah, and I
And-
appreciated his honor
I
that he
did too.
showed, and
I did too. And-
it found us rooting
yes, man.
for Aegon.
Yes, 100%.
Another and this isn't the first time.
No.
this season that
No.
we've rooted for Aegon.
And it really started, because he's coming to terms with the fact that he's not a good person.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people, a common theme with people that have power
Mhm.
is most people think that they're the good guys in their own story.
Yeah,
But he's accepting, like, I'm not the good guy.
I'm not.
I'm not, this great person. But that doesn't mean that I'm not chosen to win.
Yeah.
And I love that. I love that. Because nobody, we can root for an underdog. You don't want to root for somebody that's pathetic. And he's coming out of that. And one thing I loved, right, is Tyland, like we were talking about Tyland, he's ready to die there, but he looks frightened. Nobody wants to get slaughtered by a
No.
bunch of people, but he's ready to. But when he starts shouting and chanting and giving this speech, before the Rivermen even start like noticing the dragon, Tyland doesn't even notice the dragon. He starts holding his sword higher. Like this speech that he's giving, even without
Inspired
Sunfire,
him.
is inspiring him. He's like, you know what? Yes,
Yeah.
like this is my king. I'm about to die for my king, and we're gonna die with honor.
And this
And-
kind of parallels what happened last episode with Kristen. A
100%.
completely flip on its head.
Yeah,
A complete opposite of, Kristen was like, I'm going to go out like an honorable man,
yeah,
and I will slaughter all of you, like as many as I can,
yeah,
and I'll wrap my love's handkerchief around my sword, and I'll die, and I'll have songs sung of me and my men.
mm-hmm.
And this is just the complete opposite. This is a cripple and a lord that is 1,000 leagues from his home with no army, and they have nothing but a campfire,
Yeah.
and they're just ready to go.
Oh,
And it was way more inspiring
You can't help
than
but feel
Kristen
it, and-
could ever be.
100%. You can't help but feel in that moment. And like you said, it had us rooting for Aegon, and we thought that was impossible at the beginning of this
Impossible.
season.
Absolute despicable
And-
person.
It goes to show how good that actor is. First of all,
Tom Glenn Carney is
Tom
amazing.
Glenn Carney
Oh
is
my
so
God,
good.
bro.
Give that man his flowers.
Yes,
oh
dude.
my gosh, I hope he gets 1,000 jobs
And
after this.
acting ability underneath all of this prosthetic
Yes, man.
makeup is
Yes.
so amazing.
In these sets, by the way,
Mhm.
which are ridiculously uncomfortable, Game
Yeah.
of Thrones actors throughout the past 2 decades have
Mhm.
talked about how uncomfortable it is to film in these outfits out in the nature,
Yeah.
for hours at
They
a
hate
time.
it.
Mosquitoes everywhere.
Their suits are hot or
Yeah,
they're like
and
very cold.
Exactly, and they'll be soaked the entire time too. Somehow they say they're always wet.
Yeah.
Like it goes to show like the acting ability of these people, off the chain. We got a little bit ahead of ourselves,
Right.
but we just had to talk about that
Yeah, I
because
mean that
what
is
a
the
scene.
biggest thing in this
Yes.
episode, other than probably the treachery at the end.
And we had a
But,
dragon
oh my
fight
God.
between 4 dragons, mind you.
Yeah,
and
I
he
just want to
still-
sit here and talk about
Aegon. Exactly.
I could sit here and talk about it for the whole time we do
100%.
this. I love that scene so
It's
much,
so
dude.
good. It's so
That
good.
was so good.
Yes. Yes.
I can't get
It's-
over it. And also like the writing of that little sequence was so good. Like not only did you could like, and I also thought, because I told you, I was like, this is going to be like in season 7 when Jon and Tormund and the Hound and everybody is beyond the wall and they're fighting the Whites. And they
Dany
have
shows
Dany
up.
come, and there's the shot where she like breathes fire over Jon
Yeah.
when they're all about to die. And I was like, I told you, I was like, watch, that same scene's about to happen.
Yeah.
And then you could hear Sunfire coming.
Yes.
But at first it wasn't like no one moved. Like no one moved. No, like everybody was still like locked eyes and like ready to
Yeah.
go. I thought like if that wasn't going to happen, it was the dragon in himself, in Aegon himself,
Yeah.
like almost coming out of him. It was the dragon within coming out and like roaring a little bit.
Yeah.
And then the dragon actually comes out. Sunfire actually is there, and it puts the cherry on top.
And one thing
It's awesome.
that I will say that I just thought was so sick about this, and
Mhm.
you had pointed it out while we were watching, that dragon was mirroring his emotions to a T. They were
right
they
next-
were exact mirrors of each other, down to the scars that
They
they
look the
have
same.
on
They
their body.
mirror each other,
They
yes.
are the same, and I think like it was showing, bro.
And like when he's laughing at the end, it looks like Sunfire turns his head, and it looks like he's laughing
Yes,
with
it
him.
does. It does look like he's laughing.
It's like, yeah, I showed up.
Yeah.
We killed them.
And also, Sunfire looks terrifying. He used to be this beautiful, gorgeous dragon.
The prettiest dragon.
Prettiest dragon. He's a monster now, and he looks
Like
absolutely
uglier than Sheep Stealer.
100%.
And probably uglier than Sheep Stealer post battle.
Yeah, right.
Poor Sheep Stealer.
Poor
We'll get
Sheep
into
Stealer.
that.
Yeah, absolutely. But when Aegon is giving the speech, he starts laughing and he's like, "Yes, cowards." Like before he even realizes that Sunfire is there,
Yeah.
like he's so caught up in this moment, and it's honestly beautiful to watch. And we started loving Aegon a little bit.
Throughout the season.
Yes, throughout the season, especially when they were in Rook's Rest, and that man found his
crown.
His crown, and said calls him Gregor. Or?
Yeah, because that's his fake name.
He says Gregor, is it? And he
stabs
snatches him down and stabs him and says, "You can call me your grace."
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we both looked at each other like, yes.
Like this kingly
Yes.
attitude is in Aegon.
Yes.
Like this manner of it.
It's there.
But the back, it shows you that you can't just have this kind of attitude of wanting to be king. You have to have the personality
Yes.
and being a good person with
And
it.
I think it goes to show how much Alicent and Otto
Influenced him.
absolutely ruined him.
Ruined him, yeah.
Absolutely ruined him, and how he is absolutely, and Aemon, absolutely,
Viserys too.
yeah, absolutely products of their upbringing.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think that's a big theme with all of the young Targaryens
For
in
sure.
this season, is that they're all kind of products of their upbringing. Even Darren, he was best friends with Gwaine, and Gwaine is this honorable man.
Yeah.
But you see, he's been stuck with Ormond for months and months and months, potentially years. And, it's starting to almost, get to him a little bit, where he's not this super nice lad. He has these other tendencies to him.
Right.
Where he's capable of killing an innocent man and capable of snickering at his best friend, and his best friend and uncle whenever he gets
even
made fun of.
Jacaerys too. It was
Absolutely.
him and his upbringing.
Mhm.
Like how he acts and how he responds to the battle and everything, being so like bloodlust over wanting to prove himself.
Very true.
Because like Rhaenyra always keeps him by her side.
Yeah.
So that is a theme. That is a good theme that is going on this season. But also back to what we were talking about with Aegon, Tyland, when he sees Sunfire show up, immediately turns around and gets on his knee. And back to what I was saying with Tyland though, and Aegon. Tyland turns around right when he sees Sunfire and bends the knee.
Yes, literally.
To Sunfire.
Literally.
Puts his sword in the ground and is like, and then it makes me think of like, Rhaenyra keeps saying like she's chosen by the gods, like, and she wants this validation. Aegon almost gets that validation
Yes.
with Sunfire showing up out of nowhere.
Yep.
Like, yes, she got Adam and she got 2 other dragon riders, but this almost is like what she
man,
would kill for.
That's a very good point, and it especially with, I won't say what happens, but we know what happens later in the season, and it's like it goes to show like who the gods choose may be very like convoluted and very complicated,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it not a straight answer at all.
Mm-hmm.
But very good point. Very good point.
Appreciate
She
it.
would absolutely kill for
She
that
would
because
kill
she
for that.
she lusts after the sign from the gods. Just
She's
Just-
she's pleading for
Yes.
Helena to tell her.
yes, and she's back to the scene where she's pleading to Helena at the beginning of the season episode. She looks like she's going mad, dude. She looks so desperate. She's shaking her. We see Helena pull her hand away in disgust.
Yeah.
And she's basically, tells her to F off, get away from me.
Yeah, while she's still doing the tapestry.
Still weaving the tapestry.
Yeah.
still weaving the tapestry, which I love that, like, you know, that theory that she's the one weaving the tapestry in the intro.
Yeah, I love that theory
You
too.
know, which of course
It would
we
make
had
so
the,
much sense.
we had the new addition to the intro, Kristen Cole, laying
Yep.
dead.
Yeah.
Super awesome.
Yeah.
Super awesome. Directly after the scene where Helena and first in this episode, I mean in the beginning scene when Helena and Rhaenyra are talking,
Yeah.
she's asking her what she's seen. She says that she's seen a pale horse, or
She says a gray
a
mare.
gray mare. Well, we know from reading the Game of Thrones books, particularly A Dance with Dragons,
Yeah.
the pale mare in the Game of Thrones books, in A Dance with Dragons, is essentially the bloody flux. It is a disease. And
Right.
also, a pale mare is a symbolic, symbol for death.
Right.
And I think, Rhaenyra looks right over this. She's like, okay, and completely ignores it. But we know from reading the books that the pale mare signifies
A lot more.
a lot more than that,
Yeah.
particularly death. And we see this woman in A Dance with Dragons. I can't remember exactly who it is. Is it Quaithe who mentions the pale mare first, or is it the
I think it's Quaithe.
I think it's Quaithe mentions the pale mare
Or
to
is
her.
it? Or is it?
To Dany mentions the pale mare.
Yeah.
And then she, of course, her city gets absolutely ravaged by
Yeah.
the bloody flux, and the camp outside of
Marine.
is absolutely riddled with the bloody flux. Of course, Yazan Zoquazax, the guy who buys Tyrion
Yep.
and Penny and Jorah,
Mm-hmm.
actually ends up dying
From it.
from the pale mare.
Yep.
And Tyrion even says, when Brown Ben Plum, who is, by the way, a descendant of the Fossaways from Night of the Seven Kingdoms that we see, he actually calls himself a brown apple Fossaway, but he's kind of a bastard. But
Yeah,
anyways,
he is. Currently exiled.
yes, he's currently exiled, but he calls himself a brown apple Fossaway.
Yeah.
He asks about Yazan Zoquazax, and Tyrion says he's currently riding the pale mare, as
Mhm.
in, he's dying from the bloody flux.
Yeah.
And that's what allows him to escape. But super big foreshadowing,
Super big
especially knowing
foreshadowing.
what we know about the ending of
Right.
Fire and Blood.
Yeah, and what is to come.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, and it doesn't even have to reference just a sickness to come over.
100%.
It just
Yeah.
represents a certain death.
Death, yeah. And just an ill omen in general.
Right.
You know
an
what I
ill
mean?
omen. That's
Yeah.
a good way to put it. So then, after we shift our focus over back to Harrenhal, we have.
It's playing right now, and
I
it's
thought-
disturbing.
I said, "Oh my God, don't do it again."
I told you they were gonna escalate it this time too.
Yeah, and so we see Alicent and Aemon start having their connection,
Yes.
but it is revealed to be Alice Rivers.
Yes.
So we were going back and forth. That I think that Alice knew that Alice knew that Alicent was coming. I think
Yes.
that she absolutely knew that she was coming, and she portrayed herself not only to seduce Aemon and get him to impregnate her, because she wants these sons. She wants these dragons. She wants this power. So she did it not only to weaken him, but to make him vulnerable for when she does show up,
Yeah.
and kind of sway him to her side of things.
Yeah.
And maybe she knew Alicent's intentions.
I think 100%. And, you know, of course, he gets poisoned by Allison at the end of the episode.
Right.
Maybe she even knew that
Mhm.
would happen, and she wanted her to poison Aemon so she could finally fully
And flip him.
flip him. Absolutely.
And so when she gives him this antidote, she'll be like, "Your
I
mother
told you."
did this.
Yeah.
I told you." Blah 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 blah.
And she's going to be like, I know when these things are going to happen. You have to listen to me.
Yeah.
And he's going to listen to her. And she'll have him in.
And she'll have him wrapped around her finger,
Mm-hmm.
fully
Mhm.
this time. But very disturbing scene at first. We didn't know what
Exceedingly
the hell was
disturbing.
gonna happen. But after this, we
As
see
soon as they started actually having sex, I knew
that it was
that it was Alice
portraying
yeah.
herself.
Yeah, because I knew that Allison wasn't going to readily have sex with him.
Yeah, and this, I mean, she can just do this. Like, this is
Crazy.
just more
How
questions that
powerful
we
she is.
have about Alice. Like, and then, so after this, we see the Rivermen marching
On Tumbleton.
on Tumbleton. Finally.
Finally.
God, it's been forever. And
I we both thought we were going to get it this episode.
Yeah.
I was kind of suspecting
Stop.
that.
before you say something you don't want to say.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Dude, thank you.
Okay.
Bro, thank you.
Okay.
I was about to just go.
We both almost did,
Yeah.
but we'll just stop here. But the Rivermen are marching on Tumbleton.
Yes.
That we suspected that was going to happen, but we thought it would happen a few episodes ago.
Yeah.
But now it's finally happening, and like you said, happens just like the books. They're marching.
Yes.
They have Kristen's head on a spike.
Yes, and they march him through the Riverlands,
Yeah.
and it is
All
awesome.
the way to Tumbleton.
It's
man.
awesome, man. And like you see the head, and he's turned gray, which of course it couldn't have been that long, right? Because if it was more than a few days, more of this teleporting. Although I guess it's not that far, but
It's that far.
dude. It's pretty far. His
On
head
a map,
should,
it's
his-
actually that far.
Yeah, right. His head should be rotted.
It is. It should be rotted.
Yeah, because that head, like after 2 days,
It should start decaying.
it would start decaying. Like his
Yeah.
eyes would be falling out of his head. His
Yeah,
his
but
tongue would be like
They're
shriveled.
doing
Yeah.
this Game of Thrones
Teleporting.
fucking- yeah.
Maybe they all got a ride from Ulf.
Who knows,
Dude,
bro?
Ulf
Maybe
could be
they-
running a full-time
maybe they
Uber
rode
service.
Vermithor too.
Yeah. Hey.
But they finally show up, and then Gwaine, tries to go in and warn everyone of what's coming, and Ormond just throws this shade at Gwaine again.
He's immediately right back to it,
He's like, "Oh, your little Dornishman." Like,
Yeah, your little Dornishman died in the mud for no reason.
oh,
That was cold, bro.
yeah.
That was cold. That's your family member's best friend that just died, bro. They rode together for months and months. And
That
months,
is your
fought-
that is your like Lord Commander, by the way. That is
right.
That is you would have answered to him, by the way.
Right.
You would,
And
that would have been your commanding officer.
Hand of the King.
And Hand of the King, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, he was still Hand of the King.
And this is just more of Ormond not caring. And he only not only does he not care because Rhaenyra is in power and there's no king to be sought after right now besides him trying to crown Darren, but also because he is a Dornishman and he does not care for Kristen at all.
Yeah.
And kind of like how the
Of
same
course,
attitude,
all the people of the Reach hate Dornishmen.
I mean, we saw that with
Sure.
Gwaine.
Yeah.
Gwaine, when he was first introduced to Kristen, was like he was throwing shade at him for being a Dornishman,
Mm-hmm.
and we saw that get mended because of what they've been through, and you see Gwaine, he's just this is growing in Gwaine, like he just hates. He's starting to hate him for like even more day by day, and we see more like later on with Darren. Darren is getting tired of this, but he also says that he has a plot about what is this plot like
That who has?
that Ormond has.
Yeah.
Darren keeps saying this like he has some secret
Yeah, like
plot.
what is his trap that he's going to spring?
What
like?
is this plan? But I guess we find out in the end of the episode that it's Ulf. Like he's turned a dragon seed. which sucks.
It does.
But we'll get into
It
that
does.
later. Um,
Happens completely differently in the books as well, mind you.
yeah, completely different.
But great scene that we have in Templeton
Mhm.
with Ormond, Gwaine, and Darren.
Yeah,
After that scene, we go to the Vale,
yeah,
and we see Jane Eyre sitting on a throne
yeah.
with a woman, and she might as well have patted that woman on the ass when she stood up.
Also, why did Damon just get to storm into the Eyrie?
Right.
I know
mean,
he's
come
king
on.
consort, but like, brother, come
Yeah,
on.
no,
That
no,
is
no,
not
no.
happening anywhere else. It's funny that it would just be able to happen at the Eyrie, though. It seems like any dragon rider can do anything at the Eyrie.
Yeah, 100%.
Whenever they want.
Yeah.
I mean, she hasn't killed Rhaena. I mean, they let, was it Visenya, fly up and take the heir on a ride? Like, was it
Yeah.
Visenya?
Yeah, Visenya went to
She
the Eyrie.
let, I mean, and then she lets Damon
Well, I
come
mean,
and
what
go.
choice do they have, Because you have no defenses versus a dragon up there, and he can just destroy your entire castle, and then you go crashing all the way
And
to
then
the-
you
into
go
the
falling
mountains
through the
below.
moon,
to the moon door. Yeah.
That is true, but
and of course, in this scene, in that scene, he's asking about Rhaena.
yeah,
He's
asking
like, where is she?
Mhm.
And he basically tells her.
yeah,
I mean, she basically tells him. And she has this quote in there where she has been living amongst nettles and sheep. So that's, of course, where we get the nettles line from, which I'm glad we got. I'm glad they paid homage to the character.
yeah. It is
Um,
very odd that they didn't go that route. But I'm kind of okay with it.
I am too.
I've made my peace with it. I'm just everything that we went through character-wise with Damon in season 2, to see where he does eventually go with Nettles in in the books, it would kind of destroy his character.
I agree.
So
I actually agree. I think that's a good change by the showrunners.
a lot of book
because
readers were mad.
I love Damon's character.
Mm-hmm.
He's he's definitely top 5 characters for me in all of Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
Maybe even top 3. We should definitely make a video on that.
we will
one day.
make a video on that.
Probably after the season comes to a close.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, we move to.
I knew this scene was going to happen.
Also, give me some. You have been calling it for weeks. You predicted that scene and how it would play out
Yeah.
verbatim, dude. You did so good.
I knew.
Amazing ball knowledge.
I
on
could
your part.
feel that Alan wanted something with Bela.
Even the way, like you said, like they would spot Sheep Stealer and then go to the Queen, and then the Queen and them, or just them, would go and confront
Yeah.
Rhaena.
Mm-hmm. Together.
And then Damon would show up, and you would have this standoff. Of course, we didn't expect Rhaenyra to
What
show
the
up
hell?
as well. That almost went south in a bad way. In
Yeah.
a bad way. But before we go too far ahead of that, in that scene where Adam and Bela are talking,
Mm-hmm.
we see that love triangle in full swing.
Yeah.
Adam's talking to him. He has a little bit of an embarrassing moment. It's kind of like,
Yeah. He
He's
wasn't
like-
expecting.
yeah. He's like, he talks to her and he's like, basically bitching and moaning about not being
A lord.
a lord. And she was like, why is it such a big deal to you? You ride a dragon. Isn't that more important to you than in some name?
He's like, but it would be important when I marry a highborn lady.
He was like, what if, I fell in love basically with a highborn lady? And it's like smiling at her knowingly. And she's like, I see you've been talking to Alan. And he's like,
Oh.
what? And they kind of like look at each other like, she looks at him like, oh shit. And he's like, what the heck?
Yeah.
And at that very moment, they see Sheep Stealer flying through the sky.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Which I'm very, like, I knew that this triangle would unfold,
for sure.
but also, with them seeing Sheep Stealer, I'm really surprised that they didn't just go pursue it. With
Same.
how ambitious
Probably
Bela
a good
is,
thing they did not.
I'm glad that they didn't.
Yeah.
Moondancer would have gotten toasted, and
Yeah.
so would the Sea Smoke.
Yeah.
But I'm very like the way Bela acts. You know, like she's very ambitious.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that she didn't just like, all right, let's go kill it.
Yeah, right. Especially since her betrothed basically got killed because of it.
Yeah. So
Oh.
very.
And, you know,
interesting.
she's been put on ice, you know, by Rhaenyra.
Yeah,
after
but she's
all this
talking
has
about it
happened.
in this scene.
Yeah.
You know, she's like, I like,
My word means nothing to her right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. It is.
Ugh.
But also like so we stopped at that like Sheep Stealer kind of interrupted that like conversation.
Yeah.
This is going to be a very awkward conversation by the time Alan
100%.
and Adam see each other. And I want to talk more about that in the spoiler zone though.
Which you can't blame Alan, though. You can't blame Alan. You can't blame Adam for wanting her, but you can't blame Alan for getting it first. You know
No,
what I mean?
she likes him.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way the cookie crumbles, man.
Yep.
Way the capon crumbles.
Yeah. So after this, we shift back to Harrenhal, and Aemon wants to meet this Lord, this protector
Yeah.
that came with
Who
who is
Rhaenyra's one Kingsguard member.
Yeah, is he the Lord Commander or is he just her protector?
Bro,
Or is he both?
wears the Kingsguard armor, and he's the only one there.
The Lord Commander is supposed to be present in the council, like on the High
Yeah,
Council.
and he's always there.
And he's the only Kingsguard in the room.
Yeah.
So I think he is the Lord Commander, right? And
I
who
mean,
else
do
would
we-
she trust to carry out this besides
Are there
the Lord
even
Commander?
any other Kingsguard members right now?
I mean, we do see one later in this episode with her and Massaria, but
That's right.
there are a couple others actually.
That's right.
But
I wish it would elaborate more on that, because that's
I
really
do too.
important.
When she said that, like, let Damon carry out pick 'em. I wish we would have saw the scene of him picking them,
Yeah,
because we saw the scene in episode 1 or season 1 with
Rhaenyra, young Rhaenyra.
and Otto, and she picks
Picking
out
Kristen
Kristen. You know, like I wish it would have gave us the how do we pick them?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
that would have been cool to see. But she sends Sir Adrian
Yeah.
with Alicent to carry out this
played
deed.
by the man who plays Captain
Price that we
in
mentioned.
Call of Duty. Yep.
Very, very interesting. Sending him. I get it, but bro,
I don't know what.
why?
I don't.
I thought the point
Aemon-
was to send Alicent to
Yeah.
do it,
Yeah. Same.
not the Protector to do it, or the Lord Commander.
She is. I mean, it's just another foolish decision by Rhaenyra.
This
Foolish
is two
decision.
assassination attempts that she has tried to do in the last 2 episodes.
And both of them ended the exact same way, with the would-be assassin getting absolutely slaughtered. This guy got cat's paw through the jaw.
Right.
Dude, it was bad.
It was very bad.
It was tough to see Captain Price go out this way.
Yeah, and I really liked his character.
Also, he was wildin'. Excuse me. He was crazy for... he was crazy for having his arm resting on the pommel of his sword whenever Aemon goes out there.
Yeah, it's basically
mean,
just tipping him off.
That's the would-be king right there, and you don't even kneel, or anything. You don't bow.
Right, dude.
Absolutely gave himself away, in
You
my
should've
opinion.
You should have unsheathed your sword.
Laid it at
You
his feet.
should have knelt before him and should have said, "My king,
Yes.
I escaped King's Landing. You know, I brung your mother and protected her," which Sir Rickard Thorne was supposed to do. But Aemon slaughters this
Absolutely
man.
slaughters him. Once again, he's feeding the weirwood tree blood.
Just more and more blood for this weirwood to soak up.
Mm-hmm.
And it means something for that.
I think so.
For that tree.
I think so. Then right after that, you see Alice just appear.
Up here.
Right
Again,
next
like
to
she
them.
does. We never
Yes.
see her approach.
Walk up,
We never see
no.
her walk. We never see her do anything.
She
She's
just
just
appears.
there. And, God, she is just
Spooky woman.
just keeps on being spooky.
In the scene right after that, we finally see Corlys is in Tumbleton with Ormond. This is something that completely differs from Fire and
Completely
Blood.
different, yeah.
This does not happen. He is never in one. He doesn't leave King's Landing, but he's
Never.
certainly never having meetings with Darren, Gwaine, and Ormond.
Funny he's eating a pigeon when that's how he's been communicating between him
True.
and King's Landing.
Very true.
Maybe the rations have kind of dried up a little bit, and
Maybe.
we are resulting to eating the highborn is literally eating a pigeon. You know?
Which you ever eaten pigeon?
No, I haven't eaten pigeon.
I have.
Why have you eaten pigeon?
It's tasty, dude. It's tasty. It wasn't a pigeon that somebody got off the street. It was like a farm raised pigeon, bro. I'm being serious. It was,
Okay,
it was
I'll
good.
take your word for it.
It was
I'll take
good.
your word for it. But you don't expect a highborn lord to be eating pigeon, though. Honestly, do you? Like,
Yeah, for sure. Because they're always talking about capons and stuff in the
all right,
books.
all right.
I get what you're saying, though. I get what you're saying. You know, it's certainly not like, you know.
When
they're
I
not
think of
eating-
pigeon, I think of Arya trying to slit a pigeon's neck.
Yeah, two different types of
in
pigeons,
King's
for
Landing,
sure.
You know?
For sure. I think if Ormond ate a King's Landing pigeon, he would probably die.
These are definitely farm raised in the reach pigeons. Yeah.
100. At least wild caught. You know, like.
Yeah.
But anyways, I love little details like that. We see.
Him and Corlys have a conversation.
Yes.
And Darren interrupt
He
Ormond.
does. He does. He was like, "How is this going to help us when the winter wolves are clawing at our gates?" Valid question, mind you. And Ormond kind of like,
Looks like he's about to lose it again.
yeah, he does. He does look like he's about to
Because
lose
the
it.
Targaryen is the voice of reason, and it's driving him mad. It's driving him insane. The more Darren talks, the more sense he makes, the more lighthearted he is being, the
Yeah.
more merciful that he is being. It's pissing him off.
Yeah.
And then Corlys even looks at him, and it reminded me of. It just reminded me of when in I think it is
Season 1.
season 1, episode 1, when Rhaenyra in the small council makes a
Yes.
suggestion,
Yes.
and he
Which is actually a good suggestion, mind you.
and he
And then-
just nods at
and
he just
then-
acknowledges her idea.
And then Otto is like, perhaps we should find a different job for Her Grace.
Another
Or
high
the
tower
princess.
shooting the Targaryen down while the Velaryon looks on. How many times does that happen in this damn show, man?
Great call out.
That was a good.
Phenomenal call out, Hunter. Oh, that was good.
That was good, right?
Good job, dude.
Thank you, I appreciate
Good job.
it. Also, and Corlys is like, I don't want any part of this because he's talking down on Rhaenyra. He's talking down on the Targaryens, and he's like trying to put Corlys up against the Targaryens. He's trying to be like, you know how I'm like poor little Hightower? You should be poor little Velaryon.
Yeah.
Let's team up with our armies and your fleet, and you should join my side. And he's like, I would like to return to my cell.
Yeah, and especially the breaking point is when he starts talking to him about how, you know, of course, your late wife was a Targaryen, and her life ended much how you'd expect, as if she was always doomed to be slaughtered by Aemon Targaryen.
Right. The
I mean,
audacity.
The
of
audacity
Ormond.
is crazy. She should have been queen, bro.
She should have been queen.
Like, and he just has no respect. He is
He's the
Ormond,
most disrespectful.
and he is the definition of too big for your britches.
Yeah.
Like
For
he is
sure.
talking way above his station. You know, he's
Mhm.
he's messed up, man. And like you said, Corlys says, "I'd like to return to my cell," and he says,
Mhm.
"As you wish," and he starts walking away. Then Ormond holds up a knife and says, "One more thing before you go," and holds up the knife. And of course, we see what comes to be later
Yeah.
with that. Later, right after the scene,
Mhm.
right, Gwaine and Darren are talking to each other
Yeah.
in their chamber, and they're both talking about basically more of what it was last episode of how he has lost his mind. He is leading
Yeah.
us into an inevitable slaughter. And instead of instead of last episode, them talking about, like, what are we going to do? They're kind of just accepting, like, we're doomed, man.
We are trapped here.
Yeah.
We have nowhere to go. We
Yeah.
have to be at the feet of this madman. Like, we have to follow this.
Yeah.
This is there's
If
nothing else
if
to
we
do.
stay here, we're doomed.
And then Darren
If we
has
run,
this
we're doomed.
idea of, like, I could command them.
Yeah, I could command them to stand down.
Like, I am crowned the king. Like,
Yeah.
I could command them. And Gwen's like,
And then what? And then they all march us to the gallows.
like, we're gonna die anyways.
Yeah. And then he's like, then Gwaine says, "You could fly away onto Sarion." He says, "And what lord would take in the king who abandoned his men?" And then he has this amazing quote. He's like, "I do not fear obscurity or normality."
Yeah.
And he's like, "If Rhaenyra wants the throne, let her have it."
Yeah.
What Targaryens declined the throne, man?
Right.
Which ones declined the throne? We only know of one, right?
Who?
Maester Aemon.
Maester Aemon. Yep. And they kind of feel similar, honestly, with the way they talk, both being brung up in Old Town. Let's not forget, by the way.
Very true. Very true.
That is a nice, important detail.
It is.
But Darren definitely wants to help. He wants to get Ormond out. He wants to be this savior, but he's not like craving the
power that goes along
power
with
that
it.
comes with that. Yes,
Yeah.
like Rhaenyra is. Like Rhaenyra is craving the clarification.
Yeah, and she
you
wants
know?
to be, she wants to be ordained by the
Yes.
divines.
Right. Yeah, she wants to be
Darren
accepted
does
by
not
the
care about
gods.
that. Darren
No.
doesn't care. He just wants to be good.
He just wants to help.
And to help, man. And I think really he wants this violence to stop. He doesn't want there to be war. He doesn't want to go to war with Rhaenyra for the throne.
Mm-mm.
I mean,
Because he knows, yeah, they don't know each other, but like that is his sister. That is his
that's
blood.
literally his sister.
Like, and this is blood on blood fighting, and
Yes.
like we have to remember this at the end of the day. Like, this is blood on blood.
It's hard to remember that sometimes. Like,
Because it feels
Oh,
like High Towers versus
Aemon-
Targaryens. is
it
what
does.
Feels like.
It does. But it's like, oh, Aemon, the rider of Vagar, is sister to Rhaenyra.
It's brother to.
Bro,
to
yeah,
Rhaenyra.
brother. Sorry,
But yes.
brother to
Yeah.
Rhaenyra.
And
Oh my
so
gosh.
is Aegon, and then Helena's her sister, and then Darren
It's
is her
hard.
brother.
It is hard to remember that stuff
Like,
sometimes.
yes, and like you don't think of any
Then
of
like
that.
Allison is her mother-in-law, dude. Like, it's so insane.
Yep.
And
And
aunt,
Damon's all
and
their
aunt,
uncle.
right?
Yeah, yeah. And Damon's all of their uncles. It's gross.
It's so gross, dude. It's so gross.
But we
really
see.
good scene there.
So
with-
after this, we jump to another small council meeting, and half the council's not there. Orwell's trying to tell Rhaenyra, like, this is where, this person is, and Corlys should be back, and the Velaryons should be here any moment. And, they're telling them of all these things, and she gets wind of Daemon leaving, and she's like, what is going on?
yeah,
And then she ignores, again, what is wrong inside of the city.
yes.
She just blatantly ignores it again.
And Manderly's trying to tell her, hey, all of the coin we get is
Mhm.
gone as fast as we can pocket it. The small folk are still starving. We have nobody to protect the streets. All of the problems that we have are still here. We have no coin. Nobody is helping me find a solution. It's almost like I've been placed here as the scapegoat, as the fall guy.
Yeah.
And the camera, she kind of like Rhaenyra kind of looks at Massaria, and Massaria is literally just slimily sipping her wine, like dirty.
It's like, yeah,
Like,
you have,
Massaria is filthy.
and he
Bro,
reckons,
I hate her.
and he introduces the idea of attacks that it seems like he's been putting forth to Rhaenyra. Like, hey, if you implement attacks,
Yeah.
I can start to gain coin, and we can build our coffers up slowly, which is a smart thing to do.
Yeah. To an extent.
To an extent, we'll
Yes.
get to that later.
And
but-
not all at once all your other options have been exhausted.
Exactly, and this is different from the books. In the book, it's still Lord Celtigar that is her master of coin, instead of Lord Manderley. He comes into the picture later.
I wish the Celtigars were in here more.
Yeah, I guess she just left his ass on Dragonstone, but or killed him for the plot of Jace and the Kingsguard. She might have killed him, but so after that, Bela and Bela and Adam walk in with news of Sheepstealer
Yeah.
having a rider. She's like, what the hell? And then she gets up. She's walking away. Massaria comes into the picture and is
Just
continuing
starts
to
conniving, dude.
about Damon. She's like, you
Yes.
know that head wasn't it. You know he's lying. Yeah, he is. But also, if she knew the true story, the truth about this, that she is supposed to know, by the
Yeah.
way, let's just take a moment and reflect on how bad this Mistress of Whispers is.
She has failed.
She doesn't
at
know
everything.
dick about anything. She is terrible. She has no idea of the plot.
She's just grasping at any amount of power that she can get.
She has no idea of the plot of Ormond. She has no idea of the secrecy and the deception of Ulf. She has no idea what's going on or where Aegon is or where Larys is.
She was basically complicit in Alicent's plots in previous episodes.
She's complicit in that. She won't tell Rhaenyra that for some reason.
And mind you, she knew that the skull was not Sheepstealer's rider.
Yeah,
she hinted at such when she talked to Daemon about it.
Yeah, and we talked about it. She's like, she talked about it with Daemon. She knew from the get-go.
Yeah.
But decided to stay quiet.
But
is
now
the
she wants to
worst.
be like, oh, of course Daemon lied about it. Bitch, you lied about it. Like,
And it just feels like this
withholding
is...
the truth when your job is to know stuff is lying.
Yeah.
You are lying.
And it's treason.
100%.
And it feels like this Massaria's like whole job right now is to solely undermine Daemon.
Yeah.
That is what
100%.
feels like that is her personal mission ever since he wronged her in season 1.
When we get to the spoiler section, I have some stuff I want to say about Massaria. I got to get it off my chest.
Let's do it.
I got to get it off my... We're going to open up the burn book on Massaria. After that scene, right, we see
Aegon. Is it
yes,
Aegon?
and Tyland and Larys. And Tyland starts seeing the people on the road, and he's like, "Hey, we need to turn around. We need
There's an
to
army
go back."
coming our way.
Yes. And
Aegon's like, no.
Aegon's like, "No, we march on." And they see they start seeing more and more and more people come.
Yeah.
And
Aegon has this, like, we talked about it, really, but this sense of, like, pride of honor.
yeah.
Of, like, you know what? If I, like, this, I'm not going to go out.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
I'm not going
die.
to go back to Rook's Rest. I'm not going to keep running.
And he literally says, "I'm not going to die forgotten and covered in dust."
Yeah, he wants to have, like Kristen, he wants to have this death, this honorable death, this kingly death,
Mm-hmm.
because he knows how his name will be remembered. So he wants to try, up until the final moments, try to rectify this history that has already been written about him.
Of course.
So, and in Fire and Blood, we don't hear any of this of Aegon. We don't hear any of this, and we'll
Mhm.
talk more. We can't, talk a lot about it, but, when he disappears, like we've said in the past couple of episodes, he just disappears.
Yeah.
So we don't know these trials that he that he's ran into on this road. So it is nice to see at what Aegon do, and we were like concerned about this, like when the season started and when it was announced, and how, because we thought like, oh, Aegon's just going to be gone for a season.
Yeah.
That has not been the case.
I
And that this
have loved every second. I thought,
storyline's been great.
and a lot of people kind of were comparing him to Bran. Bran's like segments of, Game of Thrones in the earlier seasons when Bran is just marching through the snow forever and
Yeah.
ever and ever. It's nothing like that.
No.
Every second is like good.
Yeah.
Every second is plot development, and it feels like it really, really matters.
Yeah. I love it.
So that's a really good scene, and of course we see in that scene Larys and
Tylen going back
Tylen
and
are
forth.
just constantly going back and forth. After that scene, we see Aemon, Alice, and Alicent, the Triple A's,
The Triple A's.
having dinner in Harrenhal. And basically,
Alicent's like, who the hell is this?
yeah, who the hell is this? And she's like, she's basically he says she's a maester of sorts.
Yeah.
And
And he's like, she runs Harrenhal
Yeah.
for now.
and even Alice is like, I don't really take direction from anyone. And Alicent kind of just snorts at this. He's like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
who are you?
Right. Like her highborn, like, privilege almost comes
Yeah.
out. Like, who is this common?
Yeah, this peasant. Who is this peasant?
Who is this
that
peasant?
Says, I don't take like orders from anybody. Basically, is what she says. And Alicent's thinking, I will have your fucking head cut off. Like
And then we get a weird, awkward scene
100%.
with that we'll talk about it, and then we'll correlate it. But he like grabs her hand,
And then reaches over for Alicent's
and then
hand.
grabs Alicent's hand, and is like, "This will be my seat. This is, I choose her.
Yeah.
Like she is mine." And then, maybe you can be a part of our plan here.
And he starts
and-
talking about how there will be a new line of unsullied Targaryen.
Yeah, so
kings.
we're talking about the dragon eggs, having more sons or daughters, and almost starting this Targaryen dynasty over with these two at Harrenhal,
Yeah.
which makes no sense, but I get it. But me and you immediately were like, so he
Aegon.
wants to be Aegon the Conqueror
Yeah,
with
he
his
wants
two
to-
wives.
100%. Except one of them, instead of being his sister, one of them's going to be a barn owl and his mother. Great.
just continues to further, like, just screw up his character.
Yeah.
Like not saying this is screwing up his character, but like mentally,
Yeah.
his character is so screwed up.
Just
that
mentally, he's cooked, dude.
He's so cooked, and for them to,
Hit pause real
have
quick
this-
on this.
oh yeah, but to continue to just screw this man up
Yeah.
is terrible.
And it's like he's had some moments where he has had really good ideas and everything, and he has seen like the level head and like the military mind. But then he's had other moments where it's like, dude, you are one man. Like, I understand that you ride Vagar,
Mm-hmm.
but buddy, you have limitations.
Also,
and-
where is Vagar? Again,
Right. Where is Vagar?
Where is she?
And you are not Aegon the Conqueror.
No.
Your two wives don't ride dragons.
Mm-mm.
It's
One's a witch and one's a mom.
he's so out of his mind.
Your mom.
And I think it just goes back to him being so desperate for love that he's he's lost in these fantasies.
He's willing to do whatever it takes,
I agree.
but in the most screwed up ways possible for him to get there. So, yeah.
Oh, it goes back to
Yeah, we jump back to
Tylan,
outside
Laris,
of Maidenpool.
Tylan, Laris, and Aegon all
Mhm.
riding together, and they start seeing more and more and more people come out of the woods from Maidenpool.
Yeah.
And Laris looks at Tylan and says, "You should probably consider turning yourself in, Tylan."
Absurd.
Yeah, and he says Rhaenyra would flay me alive, and
He's like, yeah.
Laris with a straight face says, "For certainty, but it would give us a chance to live." Basically, is what he says,
Yeah.
and he's like, Tylan's just kind of like, "Screw you, dude.
Right.
Screw you," and then you know.
He keeps trying to like get Aegon.
Yeah, he's like, "We need to turn back. We need to go. We need to
Yeah.
follow these people and get out of here." And
Aegon's
Tylan's like, "No, we need to
Yeah.
like we need to keep going, or we need to get to Casterly Rock, or we need to be proactive."
Yeah.
Whereas Laris is like, "We need to run away."
Yeah.
And when Aegon says, "No, I'm going to go forward, and I'm going to die, this honorable death. I'm not going to die in obscurity, in the dust,
Yeah.
forgotten." And Tylan is like, "Yeah,
I'll
like,
stay with
I'll
you.
stay with you." And Laris is like, "Well, this is where we part ways."
Yeah, you said I'll go, preserve your name.
Yes,
through
he's
the
like,
annals.
"I'll make sure you're remembered
Like,
fondly." or
shut
whatever."
up. No,
Yeah,
you
dude.
won't.
And who are you, dude? You're the Clubfoot.
Yeah, right.
Nobody cares about you at all.
Nobody cares what you say.
At all.
So-
At all.
It's like Aegon finally, like, there's been a couple episodes of back and forth bickering between Laris and Tylan, and it's like Aegon finally chooses a side here, and he chooses, like, Tylan's way, but it's always Laris's way or the highway.
100%.
So Laris is like, all right, bye. So now Laris is gone.
And he's such a coward. And above and all else, he is a coward.
He is
right?
the definition of it. Yeah.
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 And it does not come from him being a cripple.
No.
He is to the bone a coward.
We see many
Aegon-
cripples that have way more
100%.
bravery and courage than Laris could.
100%. Even Bran.
Even Bran, yeah.
He doesn't have either leg.
Yeah.
His legs literally don't work, and he is no coward.
Mm-mm.
He's no warrior, of course, but he's not a complete.
Unless he taps
Wimp.
into somebody.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like Hodor.
Yeah.
Hodor.
But yeah, it's basically Laris saving his own ass. Again. Like he did when he didn't take Aegon and escape King's Landing for Aegon. He did it for himself.
100%.
So that maybe one day he could earn his place back and earn this
Yes.
favor with the king back.
And I think if he could, if the Team Black was for sure to win, and everybody was dead except for Aegon, and they offered him a place at court, if he turned in Aegon, he would turn in Aegon in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat.
Yeah, he did it on purpose. He knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
And like the original plan was to like sail to Dragonstone. Like he was going, and like I believe if they ever got to Dragonstone with Laris by his side, he was going to use him to turn him in and save his own ass.
I completely agree.
But now the tides have turned, and Aegon has Sunfire back, and a Lannister by his side.
What a freaking scene.
So now we finally come to the dragon standoff.
So this is an awesome scene, right? We see Rhaena flying on Sheepstealer, and Caraxes goes overhead, and is able to like peck and kind of like shove Sheepstealer and Rhaena to the ground, and it really shows like how adept and skilled Daemon is at riding and controlling Caraxes.
Yeah.
But we see this badass scene when they first get there, and Rhaena's like, "Stand back," you know.
Yeah.
Um,
The Sheep Stealers having none of it.
having none of it. You know, she says, "I do not control him," and there's
They're both
Sheep
like,
Stealer
calm.
jumps up almost, like doesn't even really fly up, just jumps up and then lands down and is roaring at Daemon.
Yeah.
It knocks Daemon to the ground.
Yeah.
It's terrifying. And then Caraxes steps up, and I love how when a dragon's about to breathe fire, you see the fire like in their gullet.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So awesome. It's
Yeah.
so awesome. And Caraxes is ready to throw down right there.
Always ready to throw down for
Always.
Daemon, especially if he's ever hurt.
Oh yes.
Like-
and you see that later in this scene. You know, he gets knocked from the saddle.
Yep.
And
she immediately goes to
Yeah,
Daemon.
it's kind of cute too. It's
Yeah,
kind of
it's
like she
adorable.
went from being this vicious, bloodthirsty monster to
It's like,
being.
"Oh, are you
like,
okay?
You good, Dad?
Yeah, you good, Dad?
She was almost like nuzzling him, like, "Give me a pet,
Yeah.
pet me."
Yeah,
Tell me
it
you're okay."
reminds me of Aragorn when he falls off the cliff in Two Towers, and his horse like comes up and nuzzles him and
Yes.
is like, "Wake up, like let's get up."
Yeah,
And then he gets brung like back to life, and he wakes up and then makes his way to Helm's Deep. It just makes it like resembles that for me.
100%.
But so he's like, "Rhaena, you need to go. Like what are you doing?"
Yeah,
Like, and so they have their little like, they're trying
father
to
daughter.
yeah, they're trying to like talk this through, like that she knows about you, and why are you still here? You're supposed to leave, you know. And then I thought it was Bela and Adam that showed up.
Same.
It was freaking Rhaenyra and Adam that show up. Also,
Yep.
why didn't she bring Bela?
Odd.
You know?
Very odd.
Is it because she needed her to like patrol?
She probably needed a dragon in King's Landing.
That's true. That
Yeah.
is true. But yeah,
They
Rhaenyra.
probably, I would say, they probably didn't want to leave. The
Oh, no.
writers probably didn't want to leave King's Landing completely undefended because all the fans would be like, okay, so they just left King's Landing without a dragon. You know?
But you left Moondancer.
Yeah, right. I mean, who is gonna stay if not Moondancer? Cyrax, tiny ass Cyrax.
Yeah, Rhaenyra shouldn't have gone. It was absolutely ridiculous for her
Yeah.
to go. But so Adam immediately hops off his sea smoke, books it, and gets Rhaena.
Dude.
Brings her back.
Dude, he started hawking her down too.
Yeah.
As soon as we saw him jump from the saddle and start chasing after her, we were like, "Oh shit, he's about to catch her like that." And he did. Immediately, it was like 10 seconds later, he was carrying her back.
Yeah.
And then we have what we called this Valyrian standoff
Yeah, dude.
between all these dragons, and we see Daemon or Adam drag her to the
queen.
Sea Smoke,
Yeah.
and or did she get on Cyrax with Rhaenyra? She got on Sea Smoke, didn't she?
No, she gets on Cyrax.
She gets on Cyrax.
But
okay.
before this, she like Rhaenyra like she offers herself up, like she's ready to die. I think because she feels like Rhaenyra is going to kill her for Jace's death, and then Sheepstealer steps in because I feel like with this dragon bond between them two, Sheepstealer felt what Rhaena was about to do.
Yeah.
Offering her life up, and Sheepstealer was like,
No.
"No,"
Like, you
and
can't die.
immediately steps in and starts
Yeah.
fighting, and then this ruffles Cyrax because she has Rhaenyra in front, and then they go after
Cyrax and Sheepstealer are going at it.
Yeah.
And bro, like Cyrax, like, you know,
Like it looks for a second
like
that
Cyrax
she,
is gonna do it, but then immediately gets thrown back down.
yeah,
And buddy, if Sea Smoke didn't jump in right there,
she was toasted.
she's getting killed.
and then Sea
hard.
Smoke gets hit to the
Thrown.
side, thrown to the side.
Absolutely thrown.
By Sheepstealer. And then Cyrax is just about to die, and then Daemon finally steps in with Caraxes. And Caraxes takes care of business.
Caraxes was just too much. And I think it was not only that Caraxes is a vicious beast and has fought dragons before.
Yep.
I think that Daemon is very battle hardened, has 100% mastery and control.
Yep.
And yeah, right here. I mean,
It's so tough right here.
It
This
is.
is such
It's very
a sad
sad.
scene.
And Caraxes, Daemon tells Caraxes, kill her, Caraxes.
Yeah.
And as the scene when Caraxes is pinning Sheepstealer to the ground, it bends its neck up. Sheepstealer does, and looks at Rhaena being flown away, and yells, but it wasn't like a roar. It was like a hey, they're killing me.
Yeah, like help me.
Help me. They're killing me.
Like, where are you going?
Yes.
Help me.
Oh my God.
And it is such a painful.
It's so painful, man.
It's so sad to see because, like you said while we were watching this scene, Sheepstealer was just a wild dragon doing her own thing.
Just being happy, man.
Or his own thing.
I mean,
whichever
it
one.
even saw Rhaena, show up and brought her dinner, man.
Brought
it was
her
like
dinner.
it's like you're really hungry. Let me go get you a sheep, and we can eat dinner together.
Yeah.
And then the first thing she does, she takes him into battle,
kills a bunch of people,
flies him around the Vale
risk
for a while.
her life, or his Sheepstealer's life in the process, and then flies back, and then now puts Sheepstealer in this predicament where it is a 3-on-1.
Yeah.
And Sheepstealer thinks that it's doing the right thing, trying to protect its rider.
Then it sees and it talks about the Maesters talk about in Fire and Blood how intelligent these dragons are. They think that they might be even more smart than men.
Mm-hmm.
And we see, the way it looks at her is like maybe it's even thinking hey, did you set me up
Yep.
to die
Yep.
to these guys, because they're all attacking me right now and you're flying away on another dragon.
Yeah.
Why did you bring me here to die?
Yeah.
It's just so incredibly sad. And what's even worse, right, is Caraxes has Sheepstealer by the neck. Right,
Mhm.
it's got her in the death hold, and then Caraxes lets go, because Caraxes is a vicious beast, mind you. Lets go of the neck and grabs the wing and starts ripping.
Yeah,
at the
ripping
wing.
the wing is almost just as bad as
It's probably
ripping.
worse than death for that dragon, dude, because you see that dragon for a dragon to not try to fight another dragon that it's in a fight with anymore is bad. To try to run away is bad, because those dragons don't do that.
No.
You know what I mean?
No, they're ready to fight to the death.
100%. Even at the end of the first season, when Lucerys' dragon, it sees Vhagar fly too close, and it's like, get away from me, breathes fire at it,
At
know?
Vhagar.
It's and Vhagar is 10 times larger.
20 times, 50 times as big as
100%.
is.
And
It's not even close.
not even close. And that, that even shows, these dragons are do not mess with me. Then we see, of course, it tries to get away. It tries to fly, and it can't even get off the ground.
It's so pitiful.
It's so pitiful. And it just, we have this really nice scene where Caraxes goes back to Daemon, and it's like, hey, Dad, I did
It's
what you
almost
told me to do.
like him falling off of Caraxes saved Sheepstealer's life, because Caraxes was immediately not concerned with Sheepstealer. It was like, all right, you're kind of going away. You're not threatening me right now. My rider just fell off. Let me check on him.
Yeah.
And it continues to show us this mature, experienced bond that Daemon and Caraxes have. It is probably the best bond in the show.
I agree.
And I'm talking about it's when you talk about some of the writers with their the best bond, it's up there with
Dany and Drogon.
It might, yeah, but I'm talking about it might even be better than Rhaenys and Meleys. Their bond as well, it might even be stronger than theirs in a way, because that is a.
It's really interesting. It's really cool that you mentioned Rhaenys and Meleys, because Rhaenys' mother actually rode Caraxes.
Yep.
And Daemon tried to ride Meleys, but Meleys denied Damon,
Mhm.
and Damon later took Caraxes. So there is that like connection there. So I really love that you.
It's funny you say
Compared
that
them.
because he
Mhm.
literally tells Rhaena in this episode, he's like, I was riderless for a long
Yes.
time. I didn't have a dragon for a long time. Our mother died, and Viserys
Fell into despair.
fell into despair,
Yeah.
and I was left with nothing until I found Caraxes. Like, I understand your pain, and then he offers to go like kill Vhagar with her in that scene, and we'll get into that later.
They could have done it too. Oh my gosh.
Caraxes and Sheepstealer probably could have done this.
I really think so.
I think so too, because we see the ferocity of Sheepstealer and how
The only problem with that would be Sheepstealer not accidentally attacking Caraxes.
yes, but it is very important that we saw Caraxes put Sheepstealer down on the ground without either one of them killing each other,
That's true.
which was like a huge improvement.
That's
Maybe
true.
Rhaena has made, some bounds.
No other dragon rider is doing that, by the way.
No.
Is able to force their dragon to like
No.
especially like not a vicious dragon like Caraxes, who has this reputation of being absolutely vicious and
Right.
terrifying. And,
Right,
You know.
It was
But-
but oh my god, that scene though, like
So
this
good.
whole battle scene between this
so
fight scene,
emotional, so badass. Everything about it was amazing.
absolutely amazing, and not in the books,
No, not in the
not
books.
even close.
Yeah, nothing like
But-
that is in the books.
Holy shit, was it awesome!
It was freaking awesome. After the Valyrian standoff, we
Mhm.
go to Sylvie and Massaria in
Yeah,
the throne room.
yeah. I didn't take
Just-
any notes. I'm gonna be honest.
Okay,
I was
well,
like, it's just Sylvie trying to.
Dude, I kind of hated the scene. I'm gonna be honest with you.
It's.
Um,
I don't even know if we can say the word on here. But
no,
it's
I
two-
wouldn't. Yeah,
It's two of them
sex workers.
sex
essentially.
workers being like, screw the
Screw the
Screw the
highborn
highborns.
people, and Sylvie basically calls out Massaria for like, you don't care about us.
yeah.
Mind you, they don't care about you, but you're just a freaking
You're a pawn.
weak ass milk drinker, bro. Like
Yeah.
you're just trying to do anything you can to hold on to any sort of power. You don't care about anybody but yourself. Really, like vibe checks her.
And like,
honestly.
does Sylvie have all this like all of a sudden hate because Aemon's not here anymore? Like, because we never really like got that from like the first season. Like when
Right.
Kristen and Aemon show up looking for Aegon in the first, at the end of the first season, she's just kind of like, she's like flirting with him and everything. But yeah, like she knows that that's the prince and the Lord Commander.
And
but
isn't that the same woman who was basically like nurturing like
yeah, it's,
Aemon
yeah.
when that
That's what I'm saying. That's
And
what I was saying that
at,
for.
Yeah, at the end of that scene, because Aegon shows up with his boys and everything, and
And
they're all-
Aemon's in there.
Aemon's in there, and Aemon walks out, and he's like, "You guys can have her. I don't care anything about her." So who knows even what happened to her that night? You know what I mean? So she might harbor a lot of hate for all of them.
That is true. That's probably where it brewed.
Yeah,
And
it's
then,
like,
you
wow,
know-
he just tossed me aside like I was nothing.
Yeah.
Because I mean, to Aemon, frankly,
She
was
is nothing.
She is nothing.
Sadly.
Yeah,
But-
it's not a good thing, but it's just the way it is.
Yeah, but I mean, the scene kind of felt useless, in my
Mhm.
opinion. Like, yeah, we get it. Like, we know what Mazharia's intentions are. She doesn't care really, and they felt like we needed a small folk tell other former small folk that remember who you are type
Yeah,
of scene. Like
yeah.
that's all that is. And then
Um,
you see that kind of come in to the picture at the end of the episode, and she uses Rhaenyra
Mm-hmm.
because she recognizes like, oh, I don't have to help this person. I can benefit off of her.
Yes,
And that's what
absolutely.
she starts to do.
Absolutely.
At the end of the episode.
Just tell her anything she needs to hear to keep her,
It's like, yes,
stay
of
by her
course
side.
you're loved by the
especially because
gods.
she senses this rift
Mhm.
between Daemon and Rhaenyra. Also, I love how Catspaw and Dark Sister, and Blackfire,
Have
are
been-
laying side by side when Alicent places the poison tea.
Yep.
or the poison wine,
Yeah.
to Daemon.
Yeah.
Aemon. I'm so sorry.
You're good.
I loved that detail.
Yeah.
Also, Blackfire right there looks so sick.
It's like you can see the Valyrian still,
Yes.
like, in the
And-
blade.
And I love like when it looks dark. You know what I mean? Because it's not as in the shows. It's never as dark as it's supposed to be. It almost looks
Right.
like a normal blade, but it's supposed to be like smoky gray. You know, like dark
Yeah.
gray, almost black.
It's not like a regular sword, and it kind of makes sense if that it's a little bit darker because like these are also the only things that can kill like White Walkers at the same time. Kind
Very
of,
good point.
kind of like resembling obsidian
Like dragon glass.
and
yeah.
the dragon glass, you know,
Yeah.
also being
Yeah.
just as dark at the same time.
That's a very good point.
Yeah,
Mm.
but
Oh yeah, and we forgot to mention that when she goes out there and she's taking the dagger off of the Kingsguard, she sees the poison flower, and that's where she gets the idea to go ahead
yeah,
and
that's
poison
where she's
him.
getting that idea.
And-
And so
and-
this is Alicent trying to poison and kill her son.
And she successfully poisons him.
Yeah.
And you know, she hands him the spiced wine, and she gets close to him, and Aemon says, you know, Alice doesn't trust you.
Mm-hmm.
And she puts both her hands on his face and gets almost close to him, like, you know, almost romantically, you know.
She's using
him, and she's like, well, who do you trust?
and he chooses
runs,
to trust his damn mother.
Yeah. And even when he admits to trying to kill Aegon, which she already knew, she's rubbing his, you know, down his chest, like his hair, you know,
Yeah.
down his side.
Foolish boy.
Yeah, my foolish boy.
Like he
It's
just
so
like
disgusting.
spilled a pot of tea or some
Yeah.
shit, and it's like, no, I tried to kill your other son, my brother, and she just doesn't care
Mm.
because she has this mission. But also, I don't think that Alicent cares either way about Aemond,
Oh, I don't think so either.
especially after him kissing her.
Yeah,
Like
she wants to be rid of him.
she does
I think
not
she
care.
cares nominally about Helena. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
she
I don't,
only cares about Helena.
Yeah, but and above all, she just cares about herself. Like,
Yeah, like
Like Alicent.
like a high tower
Yeah.
does.
100%. We see this really good scene where Daemon goes to Rhaenyra, and he's, you know, he opens up about, you know, I've neglected Rhaena for most of her life.
Yeah, he
and,
finally says it.
like, but she is my daughter, and you know, he's trying to explain to her in his own way, like, she tried to tame this dragon for you.
Yeah.
You know, she tried to prove to you that she was, you know, worthy and a good follower. And he genuinely apologizes to Rhaenyra, which is not something Daemon does. Daemon does not apologize. If you come to him with a grievance, he will say, kiss my ass, basically, to anybody.
And walk out.
And, I love how,
Also-
you know, the servant girl tries to leave at the beginning of the scene, and she
Mhm.
tells the servant girl, no, stay, almost representing this fracture of, like, you know, we're no longer, like, you know,
Close. Like that.
yeah, we're not close like that. We're not, like, confiding in each other like that anymore.
It's
you know,
almost
privately.
a form of punishment for him for what he does in this scene, for how he confesses to neglection, to how he pours out his feelings to Rhaenyra, saying that there was no scheme. You know, you're my wife. There was no scheme. Like, she's trying to do this. Like he's being really emotional and open in this scene. So for a handmaiden to sit there and listen to the king consort open up
Yeah, she's
to
like
the
she's like
queen-
laying him bare almost.
to the queen, it's almost embarrassing for him to do it. And then when
That's a really good pickup that you did right there.
and when he feels that Rhaenyra has no time for it and chews him away, that must hurt
So
so
bad.
much to him.
Mhm.
Because once again, he is rejected by Rhaenyra. and off to do whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no telling what this will entice for Damon. Because can he talk to her like this ever again? So it just continues to hurt.
Major implications.
Yeah, it's
Um,
he tried though. Like
He did.
we can't keep saying that Damon's not trying or
Yeah.
anything. He's trying.
yes, he is. Absolutely. And I really like how this servant girl here. I keep calling her a servant girl, even though she is a highborn lady
Her
herself.
name's Linda Massey.
Yes.
She's a Massey.
Thank you.
Got you, bro.
Thank you. I said the other week that she's actually a highborn lady.
Mhm. That was a different girl that you
Yes.
pointed out.
Was it?
Yeah, it was not Elinda. That was the cupbearer. Elinda is her like actual.
Was I right about
handmaid.
the other girl? Was that? I'm not
Honestly,
sure.
I don't know. We should look that up.
I could've sworn
Probably.
that
I mean,
that's-
most
could've sworn that
handmaidens.
That's what I was talking about.
Most handmaidens
To the queen, at least, right?
to the queen are from like a royal house. So like probably she is.
The Masseys, wasn't their seat burned by Aemon last season?
Are they from Sharp Point? Are the Masseys from Sharp Point?
That or Claw Island.
It's a good point. Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't remember which ones the Masseys are.
But anywho, after this scene, we see this household guard deliver Alan a box, and in the box, it is Corliss's finger. Oof! And you see this.
What?
This has a major effect on Alan, who very much so loves Corliss.
Mhm.
And it almost brings tears to his eyes. And
The Masseys are of Stone Dance.
Stone Dance. Wow, I was wrong on both accounts. Thank you for looking that up.
What is Sharp Point from? But, yeah, his finger getting delivered to him. Also, how does it make its way into King's Landing? Who shuffles it in there?
Yeah, right.
Like
How's it just delivered to the household
Bar
guard?
Emmon,
Bar Emmon.
also in the Crown Lands, castle located in the Gullet, at
Which
the
is one of
northern end
one of the first houses, mind you, to declare for Rhaenyra in the dance.
It is north of Stone Dance, so we were close,
Yeah.
close enough. But yeah, so after that we have another dream.
Yes, but right before this, we Alice, Aemon stumbles into
Yeah,
the
her,
chambers with
yeah.
Alice, and he just says Alice and then collapses. Of course he's been poisoned, and she just looks at him. She just stares at him for a second, sets down her cup that she's holding, and says, "Idiot."
Knows immediately what happened.
Yeah, and she does not seem worried. Like she's gonna handle it,
Yeah.
probably.
Like the witch
Right.
would do.
Yes.
And so we see Alicent kind of like rushing away.
Yeah.
But then she stops.
She stops right outside the gate, and me and you were yelling at each other. Why are you standing there?
Like, you better run.
You
and
need
you
to get
mentioned
out of
that
there.
you could hear the bats in the background. Well, we saw Alice like use a cluster of bats to take
Yes.
down like.
I thought
bounty
at first
hunters.
like she was gonna get snatched up, but then like you were saying, right after that scene, it cuts to another dream sequence, and we have 3 different dreams.
Yeah.
The first one, we see Helena giving birth, and after she gives birth, the baby is delivered right into the hands of the King's Guard.
Yeah. So that foretells, what
What is-
Alicent warned us about. Like, yes, you want to go through with this pregnancy. Well, guess what? As soon as that thing's born, it's gonna die.
They're gonna kill it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Rhaenyra, kind of confessed to that to Alicent last episode.
Mm-hmm.
So and then
We have the second dream, which is her on Dreamfire,
finally.
who looks sick, considerably smaller than we first saw her.
Yeah,
but,
can we talk about this real quick?
but we see her. It looks like she's in the dragon pit,
Yeah, she's definitely in the dragon
and
pit.
we see a bunch of people
Like running in there.
running in the dragon
Like,
pit.
what is that? What does that mean?
Yeah.
What?
And we see her burning the small folk that are running into the dragon pit. Then she has a third dream where, let's kind of pause it there for a second. We see her with her 2 children,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a bunch of chickens around. She said, she had mentioned she always wanted
Yeah,
to
it's a
have
good-
chickens.
Yeah, good point.
And in the back, you see a pale mare.
Yeah.
And then you play the scene. You send the scene forward, and
It turns night.
it turns into night.
We have like this
and-
eclipse in the background.
Yes. Yes.
And then this cold comes across in the snow. And then,
really interesting the way they shot the scene. It's
you
really
see
cool.
the cold front moving in with the wind.
And we almost thought, like, is it going to be White Walkers?
I think
first.
it has to be. I think this is probably foreshadowing like the long night, because with Damon in in the season finale of last season, like he saw the whites.
Yeah.
But who else did he
The
see?
White Walkers, yeah.
Who else did he see though? He saw Helena in
Yeah.
the vision as well. So I think Helena goes through these 3 separate visions while she's dreaming, and she dreams of the long night, and that's what that was. And I kind of like how you don't need the representation of like a White Walker walking around.
Yeah.
You
Like
just
the cold
know-
front moving in, like
know.
from watching Game of Thrones what that is.
You know what that is.
And I like how it was kind of like the books, like they say in the books, Sam has a passage where he says it's unclear whether they come with the cold or they bring the cold comes with them.
that's a good, yeah.
So I kind of like right there how you don't need to see it. It just shows.
Real quick, we skipped over a scene.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
skipped over Bela and Rhaena's reunion. We finally get to see them
that was
too.
really good.
And I like how Bela, when she comes in, she doesn't start hounding her sister. She doesn't start
I thought she
blaming
was
her.
kind of like going to be upset with her.
I
at
thought
first.
she was going to start, bitching at her. But she just says, "You'll start anew."
Yeah.
And she hugs her.
And you almost see like this like relief come over Raina, who just had the worst day ever.
Literally. She's had the
Like,
worst few weeks
yeah.
ever. And you really feel bad for Raina, but you feel like the sense of hope now that she has her sister back.
100%.
And it doesn't matter if she might be like low-key a prisoner, but
At least her door wasn't shut. It didn't look like she had guards outside
Yeah.
her door. So.
yeah.
And
But I'm
she
glad
is
that they're back
still-
together.
She is still Damon's daughter.
Yeah, right.
But right after this scene, we get this was you told me your favorite scene of the show when Rhaenyra comes in and we have Mysaria go down on Rhaenyra.
Yes.
This is obviously the best show. This is what the fans wanted to see. It's true.
Yeah, everybody loves Mysaria and Rhaenyra's relationship.
Jokes aside, this is my most unwanted scene, and it has nothing to do with them being gay
No.
at all.
No.
We have a bunch of different gay characters in the show, in the books. It's a very big non-issue.
Yeah, in Game of Thrones and in Fire and Blood.
I like it, because that's the way life is.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's all different types of people all over the spectrum.
Right.
But what I think is really interesting, right, is Mysaria this sounds so cruel and ugly, but she's telling Rhaenyra what she wants to hear because Rhaenyra is, seeking this validation how she was. I
She's
like how
very
it opens
vulnerable.
the show with this and ends the
Yeah.
episode with this.
Yeah.
With Rhaenyra seeking this validation from 2 different
And
women.
she gets it.
And she gets it at the end.
Yeah.
And this sounds cruel and ugly what I'm going to say, but it's kind of Mysaria going back to her roots and using her body as a manipulation and, as currency,
Yeah.
She's like, I'm going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to have sex with you, and then you're going to do what I want you to do.
And you're
You
going
know?
to confide in me, and this is how I gain more access and more information.
Yeah.
And that's how that works. And that is what Mysaria does best. And she's done it before, and she did it again just now. And this will cause dire consequences.
Dire consequences, because Mysaria is in this for herself. I can't wait till we get to the spoiler section so I can go into my burn book about Mysaria.
And she coddles her like she does Daemon as well,
Yeah,
like in the same exact way.
yeah, like in the first season.
Yeah, in the first season.
100%. 100%. But we see what, Massaria does with people when she becomes disillusioned with them,
Mhm.
or no longer has a use for them, She just like any of these high lords, she'll cast you aside.
Yep.
But after this scene,
We get the best scene ever.
we get the best scene ever. We see Tyland and Aegon sitting around this campfire,
Yeah.
and they start seeing these lights approach from the distance.
Mm-hmm.
And Tyland immediately stands up, has his hand on his sword, and, he draws his sword.
So, all right,
And-
it's the time.
Yep, it's the time. And I love how he's holding his sword up like this, almost like reminiscent of Jon Snow in the Battle of the Bastards.
Yeah.
With all of these people coming at him, he's facing certain death, but he's
Yeah.
not backing down.
No.
He will die for his king.
Yeah.
And like we cannot emphasize enough like how big it is that Tyland is the Lord of Casterly Rock. He is Lord Lannister. He is the Master of Coin, the Warden of the West.
Yep.
He's so important. He has such a good life, and he's willing to die here in the mud,
Yep.
right next to his
For
king.
his king. That's the
And-
important thing. It doesn't matter how much we hate Aegon or like them having no army, him being a bad man. It's the fact that this is the king that he made that oath to, and he is fulfilling his oath, and that is as honorable as it gets.
100%. And you see Aegon, when he sees all these people, he turns around and he's like, no. Like, he's being faced with certain death, and he's like, no, I can't die. I don't want to die. But then Tyland looks at him, he's like, Your Grace, will you flee after all?
Yep.
And he
It's
he locks in, he grabs his sword, and he says, we shall not surrender to your false queen.
Mm-hmm.
And then draws his sword. Tyland Lannister even gets called out by one of the Rivermen, and he's like, is that you? And, he's like, tell us where the gold is, and you'll die with your ears intact.
Yep.
And Tyland, he looks frightened, of course, because who wouldn't be? But he doesn't move an inch. He's ready to stand and die.
Mm-hmm.
And then I love how Aegon opens, arms open. He says, behold me now. I am Aegon Targaryen, Viserys' true heir. When he says the sixth king of the Andals, the Rhoynar, and the first men, I
That
was
was
anointed by the
freaking
High
awesome.
Septon. It's like, damn, it's true. He is the sixth king.
Yeah, we're really at
Like-
like that early in
it's
the stage
crazy.
of Westeros after the conquest.
And the way he's like, strike me down, and the stranger will take retribution, and the warrior's sword will be judgment upon you.
God.
Oh my gosh,
He
dude.
delivers the best speech.
Dude, it's so good. And
It's
of
almost
course-
like this is what Aegon should have said in the Dragon Pit.
yeah,
100%
100%.
when he got anointed.
Oh, so
But
true.
no, he says it here. He says it here as a crippled man with
And
nothing, and now his dragon
so
answers the
good.
call.
So good, man.
And we're sitting here wondering, like, how the hell does Sunfire show up?
Mm-hmm.
And it
And
just
it's
it
just
goes
he
back
walked.
to that bond.
Like, I don't know if he was flying at all or if he walked the whole way to Aegon. Like, how long has he been following Aegon? The way,
Right.
like, he turns around when he finally notices Sunfire, and he's like, Sunfire? Almost in a questioning way.
And then he's like,
But then he's like, Sunfire.
Dracarys.
Oh my gosh, and the way it bathes them. And is his flame not, like, extra golden?
It does feel a little bit more brighter.
Like, it does. It feels very bright. And, oh, that is a beautiful scene. And like you pointed out, right when he says Dracarys, Tyland hits the knee, plants that
Mhm.
sword in the ground, and oh my gosh, what an amazing scene. You see Aegon roaring
Yeah.
while his dragon is roaring flame at these people, and it is such
Mhm.
an amazing scene. And after all this, carnage,
Yeah.
it pans back to Aegon, and he's just laughing. And like he's like lifting his head triumphantly in laughter, and you almost see Sunfire's head like
Yeah.
perk up a little bit, and like
Yeah.
his mouth is open and kind of drawn up, and he's making kind of a clacking sound, you know, and it sounds
Mhm.
like he is cackling along with
Yeah.
Aegon.
Yeah.
What a beautiful scene. I'm sorry I
thought-
kind of went in right
No,
there. It just
dude, it is
engrosses
amazing.
me. You know, it's so good.
I love that scene so much. And then it pans. They use the fire, and it like transitions into a fire outside of Tumbleton, and we see Ulf and Ormond of
Scummy.
all people.
And it finally comes into light, like what Ormond's plan is. You know,
And
what
that
his-
is what this plan was. And the plan was
turn a dragon seed.
he had a dragon seed up his sleeve this whole time.
And he says, "Last time we spoke." That's
Yeah, this
what
isn't
Ulf
the
says.
first time. How many other times have they talked? Does Hugh
shame.
know about this? Like, how long has Ulf been doing this? And we talked about this last episode. I guarantee it happened after Daemon hit him into the dirt.
Yeah.
And Ormond brings that up. He's like, a man of your stature.
Yeah.
Like, how dare he?
And he's like, and Ulf says, well, to be fair, they did order me not to go to the pub. And he's like, and Ormond
man
says,
should have his
ridiculous.
cheer.
A man should have his revelries and cheer.
Yeah,
he's like-
it's just everything Ulf wants to hear, Ormond is telling him.
And he says, and when Ulf says, you know, last time we spoke, you know, you offered me a lordship in a castle. He was like, how about Honeyholt? Which is a good seat, mind you.
Yeah, that is for people that don't know. That is House Beesbury
Yes.
that holds Honeyholt.
Yes.
Funny enough, and
It's-
Beesbury is the same guy that Kristen Cole hit into the ball,
Yes.
and who defeated Viserys and Rhaenyra. Funny enough,
There's also one Beesbury in Knight of the Seven Kingdoms that volunteers to champion Dunk.
Mm-hmm.
He ends up dying in that contest.
Yeah, we love the Beesburys around here.
We love the Beesburys. They are a good house. They're solid, and they stand on business. And they're also fairly wealthy. They're not above and beyond rich, but they have a lot of honey hives, and they have
Yeah.
fairly good money. So that's actually a pretty good seat. If you could
Yeah.
have honey, I wouldn't mind to be Lord of Honeyholt.
No,
That would be
especially if you came from nothing.
100%. But then Ormond sweetens the pie, sprinkles a little honey on there, if you will.
Oh,
It says, what about Driftmark,
Lord of the Tides.
Lord of the Tides? And you just see Ulf just
Oh
smiling.
my God,
Like
it's
yes,
Christmas,
It's Christmas, and I would love that job. Then it cuts,
and that's the episode.
and that's season 3, episode 7.
But the audacity, though, to lend, to offer Driftmark.
Who, your fiance pointed this out, knows nothing about ships.
Ships.
I don't even, has Ulf ever been on a ship?
No.
Except when he was going to Dragonstone to try to claim a dragon.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's been the only time.
Like,
Other than
dude.
that, no.
And, like, isn't Driftmark supposed to protect the Seven Kingdoms from the Triarchy and, like, on the Stepstones and everything? Like,
Yeah.
Don't they have a pretty important job as, like, the first
Yeah.
line of defense against...
And who's to say
Raiders
that?
from the
and you
east.
said this afterwards. You were like, who's to say he would actually go through with that?
He certainly
He
wouldn't.
probably would kill Ulf
100%.
when they took the throne.
Yeah, he would meet him, like, he would be like, come have dinner with me.
and
Then he
kill
would
him.
have his guards slit his throat.
Yep.
100%.
I mean, Ulf is just falling for this shit.
Yeah.
So, but that is the end of the episode, man.
Mind you, I just want to point something out.
Mm-hmm.
Rhaenyra didn't technically defy guest right, but she brought them into their home. You know, she like sent people into somebody else's home twice to kill the occupier. They weren't offered bread and salt.
That is true. That isn't so.
So I don't know if it's technically guest right, but they were invited in. It's bordering
It
violating
would
guest
have,
right.
especially the Baratheon one, because
Yeah.
they are literally eating. Like Ormond is literally
Yeah.
eating with Gwaine and all of them. They probably were about to offer them,
Right.
guest salt. And
Yeah,
everything.
bread and salt.
bread and
Mhm.
salt. They were probably
Would've
about
made
to
it-
do that.
Which would have made it guest right.
Yeah.
Mm.
She's teetering.
Yeah, she's teetering on the edge,
So-
and it's no wonder the throne spurned her,
Yeah.
cut her. So really good, really, really, really good episode.
Yeah. And so we see in this
in the-
upcoming trailer, it looks as if in this new trailer, it looks like we are prepared for battle.
Yeah,
It looks like there will be war with the Rivermen,
and
the
man,
Winter
it
Wolves.
looks badass. Everybody's in their armor. Daron's watching the army march out.
Yeah.
We see Ormond in his battle armor. We see Roddy the Rune screaming, ready for battle.
Yeah.
We see Daemon, who actually. Do we want to talk about what this is now? Do we want to go ahead and put out a spoiler warning?
Do you want to get into the spoiler section?
I feel like to talk about this episode, we kind of have to. To talk about the trailer,
we can.
have to.
Yeah, I was just previewing.
Okay, yeah. You go ahead and handle
But yeah, so what will befall this battle
Mhm.
upcoming?
that. Also, what a shot right there. We see Aemon standing in the ruins of
Yeah.
Harrenhal. It looks like he might have been having a little vision right there.
Yeah. So who knows what this season finale will entail next week?
I think it's
But-
going to be a good one.
But all right, so if you are done with this section and you don't want to listen to the spoiler zone, thank you for watching and tuning in for another episode. Tune in next week for the season finale, and that same episode we are going to rank our episodes and what we think
Absolutely.
of this whole season. But thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching. All right, for everybody that stayed. So Tumbleton,
Tumbleton.
the Battle of Tumbleton will
it's
take
finally
place,
happening.
which I thought it was gonna happen this episode.
It really needed to.
Yeah.
We are behind on
We are
pacing.
behind on schedule.
Yes. The season has been wonderful. It's been so good.
It's been really
man.
good, yes.
But if we want it to match up with Fire and Blood, we are behind. We are actually very behind.
Very, 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 very behind.
And it's putting us in a situation where we have 8 episodes next season. So of House of the Dragon, we are now under 10 episodes in the entire series. There's not even 10 more episodes left. 9 episodes to get done with everything that needs to get done is
Yep.
absolutely nothing. And from the look of this trailer for next episode, we don't have Rhaenyra, or we don't have Aegon going to Dragonstone.
Mm-mm.
We don't have the mass uprisings in King's Landing. We
Yeah.
don't have anything that's forcing Rhaenyra to flee to Dragonstone, which ultimately leads to her death.
Yeah.
Which we, frankly, needed her dying relatively early next season.
Yeah, like,
if
episode
we want to.
1.
Yeah, or two,
Or 2.
maybe 3 at the most. And if we had her dying in 3, that was pushing the schedule. Honestly, if we want to fit in, the reign of Aegon, the Hour of the Wolf,
The Battle of the King's Road,
the
Tumbleton 2.
Tumbleton 2,
Because there are 2 episodes.
which
2
we're
battles.
which we're almost certain that we won't get.
No, it
at
looks
this
like they
point.
will combine them. But also, with this trailer that I was talking about just a moment ago,
Yeah,
Daemon is there.
and he should not be at the
Daemon
Battle of
should
Tumbleton.
not be there at all.
Which it looks sick, mind you. Objectively, it looks dope.
Yeah.
And like we said, objectively, this episode is amazing.
Yeah.
It's good. But if you compare it to the book and where we should be, we're falling very behind. We have been falling behind. And since episode 1, even before episode 1 started, we've been talking about, hey, we need this to happen here. Like you were saying, we needed the Butcher's Ball to happen by episode 4.
Yep.
And we did.
And it just happened.
Yeah, it happened in episode
6.
6. And we needed them to start moving along after the Butcher's Ball.
Yep.
We needed the Battle of Tumbleton, the first Battle of Tumbleton, the next episode.
Yeah.
And I'm not nitpicking. You know what I mean? I've really enjoyed this show.
Yeah, it's fun to
But-
watch. It's very enticing.
But we are
Great.
book first people. You
Yeah.
know, we love the books. And it is, you can kind of see where George was coming from, right? Getting so upset because they're not following his book.
No, we are way off
We're
track.
way off track.
There's a lot of stuff that
this
does
is
not
completely
happen.
its own story. And I know a lot of people argue and say, "Oh, well, Fire and Blood is what really happened. You know, everything, all of that stuff is just rumors." Well, there's a bunch of stuff that's happened that was not even in there at all.
Yeah,
you know,
that actually would not.
It could
that-
not have happened because
Yes.
these people were not here at this time because there's records of them being here.
And and
And-
some of these people are like literally dead. Like Gawain is literally dead.
Yes.
And at this point in the show, so
Adam is supposed to die, like
in Tumbleton,
in Tumbleton 2. So what does that mean for next episode?
Corlys is supposed to be in the dungeons of King's Landing. He
Yes.
never goes to Tumbleton.
And I mean, they just delivered him. They just delivered Alan his finger. So I mean, are they truly gonna? Our theory was that like maybe they're gonna. Rhaenyra is going to think that Corlys is a traitor whenever he comes back, and throw him in the dungeons. Is it going to be plausible at all to believe that he's been a traitor when they cut his finger off?
right, no.
No. So that whole arc is pretty much out the window. So Corlys' story is completely up in the air.
Yeah, I have no freaking idea how they're gonna do that.
At the beginning of the show, we were pretty much able to say this is what's going to happen this episode. This is what's going to happen this episode. We could go scene by scene, and we knew exactly what was going to
Yeah, we
happen.
predicted every season finale.
Yeah.
I guess the only 2 seasons.
And we can still do that to an extent, but we're so off course now that we don't know where we're going to end. And if we do end the same way, we are going to be so crammed. I don't know how they're going to do it.
You're gonna have to use. See, like there are major events that happen in this book
Yeah.
after this first Battle of Tumbleton,
Yeah.
and there's a couple before it too. You're gonna have to spend every episode striking down one chapter at a time. That's exactly
And
what
you're
they're gonna
gonna-
do. If you want to fit everything in,
And they could do it and make it work, but they're going to have to move fast, and it's going to be rough because if they do it like that, people are going to be hitting the chopping block one episode after another. It's going to be this character dies, this character dies. These 7 characters die. This character dies.
because it needs to be, because like, if you're gonna have Tumbleton 2, that means that in this Tumbleton, Hugh and Ulf will turn.
Yes.
They will burn the Rivermen. They will kill most of them. Daemon will have to retreat on Caraxes back to King's Landing. He will be the one to bring the news to Rhaenyra of the treachery.
Which will probably completely shatter her.
It's going to shatter her. It's going to drive her insane. Then it'll drive her into further paranoia. And then Massaria will get into her ear saying that Daemon will be next and that Adam will be next. And Adam will have to, but it'll, instead of Corlys telling Adam to flee, it'll be Bela to tell Adam to flee. Adam will flee. He'll gather up, instead of Rivermen, leftover Rivermen like
Be
he
the
does,
Velaryons?
it'll be the Velaryons that are out there. He will gather them up. He will go march on Tumbleton, trying to prove his worth for Tumbleton 2. Daemon already mentions to Rhaena in this episode, let's go kill Vhagar together. He will go on a solo quest to kill Vhagar, and that's how you get the God's Eye episode. After both of those happen and fall place, all those dragons will die. Both of those dragons will die. In this meantime, we get episode 3. Aegon takes Dragonstone with Sunfire and Tom Tangletongue.
Yeah.
And Tyland. They take Dragonstone. Meanwhile, here in King's Landing, the city revolts. We have the 3 kings. We have the shepherd. We have the storming of the dragon pit.
And that's got to be in one episode, man.
That gets foreshadowed that we were going to talk about in this spoiler section. That gets foreshadowed when Helena gets on Dreamfire.
Which, mind you, Helena is not there.
Yep, Helena is not there when that happens. She just She's just foreseeing this happening.
But she's dead by that point, if I'm not mistaken.
Helena has to
Yeah.
sadly die.
Yeah.
This is probably, what she's seeing with the gates at the beginning of the episode.
She is supposed to die next episode, if anything.
That's what we're thinking.
Yeah.
We think that Helena is going to, jump out the window, and those gates that you were talking about at the beginning of the episode, that is
like the afterlife.
the
almost.
door opening, the door to the window opening, and then the gates to the afterlife, like you were saying. Yeah, that is a good point. So all of this that I just talked about has to take place within like 5 episodes, and then you get into the Hour of the Wolf, and then you get Corlys and Boros and Alicent, and like the Hightower host. They come together to try to take back King's Landing from the Three Kings. They take that back. And then Cregan finally shows up, and they have the Battle of the King's Road. He defeats Boros, and then and then in the midst of all this, you have to have some way to incorporate Aegon the Younger and Viserys, Rhaenyra's other 2 children, back into this story.
And then you have to have the Winter Fever, which ends up killing Tywin Lannister, who is back in King's Landing, mind you. Like, that's how far this story freaking comes in full circle.
Because
Alicent Hightower dies from the Winter Fever.
Yep.
It kills a fifth of King's Landing's population, which we hear about she says she sees the white mare, right? Or the
gray
mare. That's what the pale mare, I think, is symbolizing. Not only winter coming, death in general, but I think it's this winter sickness we see.
That is a good point. And maybe that is what she sees. That is what that cold is.
And 100%, because I think, you see the pale mare there, right? And then you see winter rolling in. So I think, you see, like, the pale mare is sitting in the background, right?
Right.
And it's already there, right? Maybe the sickness is brewing, right?
Yeah.
It's already kind of there. But then the winter comes in, and it's, it hits, it's the winter fever, and it kills a fifth of the King's Landing population. It kills the Lord of Casterly Rock. It kills the Queen Dowager.
Yeah. But also, does that represent, not just the winter fever, but Cregan himself and his winter wolves moving in on King's Landing?
Bro!
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So
100%.
Not just an actual sickness that does happen, but Cregan.
Because we were thinking like White Walkers, right? But what other threat from the north is there?
Yeah. And currently,
Cregan.
bringing death. Like, they do bring death.
Oh yeah.
They dispose of a lot of lords.
Cregan shows up and he just cuts heads off for 6 days
he's ready
and then
to
leaves.
Go. Yeah, he's ready to go.
It's crazy.
He gets that thrown in order and then dips.
And I really hope, like, it goes into detail about how Cregan, he wanted to march on Casterly Rock. He wanted to march on Old Town.
Yep.
He wanted to go from house to house and root out these traitors and kill them all. Like,
freaking awesome.
The Maesters are like, hey, winter's here. This is a bad idea. We shouldn't do this. This would kill so many people.
Yeah.
And Cregan's like,
okay.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
Goes home.
Yeah. So there's a lot to incorporate. And, like, not only do you have
Mary's
to have
Black Alley.
Mary's Black Alley, but not only do you have to incorporate this Hour of the Wolf, you have to, like, they're building up Aegon so much that, like, you're really going to show us him, like, ruling for 6 months and then getting poisoned?
They're going to have to skim that.
You're going to have to skim that, brother.
Yeah.
Now, are you going to have, like, this slow montage episode where he just sits and looks out on his city, and he's just like, this is not how I wanted it. This is not how I envisioned it.
Yeah, he's like, I don't even...
all this death and destruction, and I'm still a bad man.
He's like, I don't have anything. I can't even pee standing up.
And then he dies. Like, it'll probably be that kind of episode.
Yeah.
Where at the end we're like,
do you think it'll actually show somebody poisoning him?
Yeah.
What if it's Larys that poisons him, comes out of the walls like a rat,
Yeah,
and
probably.
and poisons him, hoping that maybe he can win favor. And then Lord Stark shows up and cuts his head off.
I love that.
I love that too.
I love that so much.
Hmm.
But yes, you have all of these things that we have to get to, and I don't know how you're going to do it.
I think if they're going to include all of that, it has to be exactly how you said. That's the
You're
basis
going to have
of
to
how
go
they have to do
episode by episode with it.
it for the different chapters. And if they do that, they can do it.
There's 8 episodes. If
Yes.
it was 6, it would be a little bit more stressful.
It would be It would
you
be
have 8.
impossible. But yeah, with 8, I think they can do it. They're just gonna have to move along. If episode 1 happens and they freaking drag it, bro, we're cooked. We'll know we're cooked. And
Yeah.
and also it's going to depend on how this next episode goes. If this next episode needs to set us up for an end game, like
Yeah.
we need to be in the end game at the end of next week. If we're
Mhm.
not, we are in trouble. Yeah.
I'm sitting here looking at like things to talk about in the spoiler section that we haven't talked about already, and we really just covered it all.
Yeah.
But I mean, Sunfire, coming out of nowhere.
I feel so bad for that dragon, but I'm so happy that it's still alive. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's just very interesting how they did switch it. Like it doesn't happen on Dragonstone.
Yeah. And I want to know how far that dragon pulled itself.
Yeah,
bro.
because it mentions that Sunfire could fly like a little bit, but then she would have to go back down. Like she could fly a little bit and then go back down, and then she gets to a point where she gets so beat up, especially after the battle with Grey Ghost. It's like she's cooked.
Yeah.
Like she just can't go on anymore. So it's like, will we see that battle with Grey Ghost when they do take Dragonstone, or will we see the battle with Bela and Moondancer, and see how Moondancer dies? Because
Yeah.
right now it looks like Bela is not leaving King's Landing. Unless how they do that is they could do it like this. When Rhaenyra is ready to leave the city, she goes to Bela and Rhaena and says, "Fly to Dragonstone. I'll meet you there." Because Cyrax will be dead, sadly, at this point. And because the dragon pit will happen. So Bela and Rhaena get on Moondancer, fly to Dragonstone. They stumble upon Sunfire.
Do you think Rhaena will get another dragon?
At the end of the show, she'll probably have Morning
Morning.
Hatch. And then that's where the accuracy of the book will come into play. And then she'll get married.
Yeah.
But
Please continue.
they'll do it like this. They'll fly to Dragonstone. They'll run into Sunfire. Rhaena will probably either stay on Moondancer or she'll tell her to get off, and then they'll have their battle.
And
If
then
they
Sunfire
can.
will kill
Sunfire will
Rhaena and
it'll kill Moondancer.
Moondancer, yeah.
And then Bela, somehow does
Not
not
Rhaena.
die. Somehow somehow
Bela.
Bela does not die during
Yeah.
this battle. But her and Aegon get really screwed up during it. And then they'll get taken prisoner. And everybody will be acting like when Rhaenyra shows up that it's like, Bela, yeah, Lady Bela secured the castle. Like she's awaiting you in the throne room. And then
She comes in. And I love how in the books, it talks about how Aegon, says Rhaenyra is in front of Aegon and Sunfire. She tells Aegon to go to hell.
Yep.
And he says, "You first, sister."
The coldest line.
Cold line. And then he tells Sunfire to eat Rhaenyra. And
Yeah.
Sunfire doesn't. He has no interest in Rhaenyra, and
Yeah.
he has to get one of the King's Guard,
Get Sir Alfred Boom.
Sir Alfred Broom, to
Cut her.
cut her breast, where she starts bleeding, and then Sunfire starts, kind of taking an interest to her, and then bathes her in
Her fire.
in Sunfire,
Sunfire.
and
And then eats her right in
eats
front
her.
of Aegon.
Then
the younger.
the only thing left is a foot or a hand, right? It's a foot.
I think it is something like that.
Yeah. and which Aegon later buries, and he says that was for the stranger. Yeah. But yeah.
So we are way off course.
Way off course. It's, mind you, a good season. Another phenomenal episode.
Yeah.
I can't wait to rank the episodes next weekend.
Yeah, and it's kind of going to suck because if they do go by what happens in this first Battle of Tumbleton, Ormond should die this next episode. Yeah. And it looks like if that does happen, then Gwaine, since he is alive, he will be the heir of Old Town.
Yeah.
He will be the heir of the Hightower host.
What the heck is going to happen with Gwaine? Might he survive?
He might.
He
might be the one to carry on their line.
I would love it if Gwaine was
would too.
It would kind of make you think about the Hightowers in a different light too. Like, because they're in the modern day Game of Thrones, right? They're doing their own thing. Literally, Lord Hightower hasn't come down from the Hightower in a decade.
Yeah, he's up there with some priest.
Just probably looking into the flames.
Dude, there's no telling what the Hightowers are up to.
We'll make a video on that. Talk about what Lord Hightower is doing, what he's up to. But yeah, is there anything else you want to talk about for season 3, episode 7?
Rhaenyra continuing to ignore the problems inside of her city. Well, it's just
cooking. It's a pressure cooker, man.
It's like, here comes the shepherd. Here comes the storming of the dragon pit. Like, it's just about to all fall down.
And it is right. We are at the doorstep to it. It is about to happen. And it looks like shit is going to hit the fan, and it's going to hit the fan hard. Like,
hard.
And when it goes bad for Rhaenyra, it is hard to, like, for those who haven't read the book, it is hard to stress how effed she is going to be. You know the term, like, up shit's creek with no paddle?
Yeah.
That is Rhaenyra, dude. Especially after Joffrey dies on
Syrax. And we were talking about this. Let's talk about this real quick.
Yeah.
Talk about how when you see when Rhaena and Rhaenyra get on Syrax, she is cut and clawed, like, really bad. We theorized that maybe when Joffrey does get on Syrax, if this happens, and he's trying to fly to the dragon pit to save the dragons and his own dragon, that maybe he does use the whip or kicks her in her side of her wound, and it makes her jerk where he will fly off.
And, especially if, like, he won't have great control over Syrax, if any, really.
Right,
so
already.
Syrax might be flying low, and these peasants who might not have, like, archers, they're going to have, like, pitchforks and whatever else that they can try to throw at the dragon.
Rocks and shit.
Yeah,
like
rocks.
That.
And it could cause, him to be frightened and try to grab on and everything, which could lead to him getting thrown off.
Or one of those gets hit in the
gash. Yeah, 100%. But I think that her taking that dragon to that Valyrian standoff is going to have major repercussions for her.
Especially if with the other dragons, like, trying to escape the dragon pit, like, probably does not help them either.
Oh, it's going to be messed up.
Yeah.
Because, this was just one dragon getting ripped apart. And we're going to see all the dragons die in those brutal ways. And, like, the way, like, which dragon is it that tries to fly to the top? Is that Dreamfire?
Dreamfire.
Yeah, who tries to break free, which is another very symbolic of Helaena trying to...
she literally foreshadowed it.
Trying to break free, and it tries to go through the dome of the dragon pit, and when she slams into the dome of the dragon pit, it all comes crashing down and kills them all. Kills that, rightfully so, kills all the riders in there, but also kills the dragon riders, or the dragons themselves.
Yeah.
I will say these modern day Targaryen, these House of the Dragon era Targaryens are not worthy of dragons.
No.
I think the shows especially show us repeatedly they should not have dragons. It's unfortunate. They're beautiful animals. They're amazing. Nobody should have a nuclear bomb.
No.
Nobody should have a nuclear bomb.
And Viserys figured that out.
Yeah, he says that dragons are a magic we should have never trifled with. And he was very right.
And the fact that we control them is an illusion.
Oh, such a great
It's
line.
my favorite line in the show.
Such a great line.
But yeah, brother, that is. Do you got anything else?
I have nothing else. Thank you.
All right, that is it. That is season 3, episode 7, instant reaction and breakdown. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys.